Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for convening this hearing. I take no sides between the, you're a New Jersey guy, so you probably appreciate the Giants who play in New Jersey and the Packers are playing in Wisconsin, but I appreciate you being here. We're really grateful to the chairman for convening it and this hearing providing oversight over what I think is one of the crown jewels of America, the Smithsonian Institution, and certainly welcome Mr. Secretary for being here as our witness. As the chairman said, since its founding more than 175 years ago, the Smithsonian has become the most visited museum complex on the planet. It has grown to 21 museums, numerous research centers, a library system, a network of hundreds of affiliates, and the National Zoo. As one of the world's foremost research entities, the Smithsonian is on the cutting edge of advances in science, in the arts, and in the humanities. Just last month, the Smithsonian partnered with NASA to unveil a fragment of an asteroid currently in orbit around the sun. Truly remarkable. As we speak, Smithsonian scientists are studying these asteroid samples to provide insights in how water and organic molecules first reached Earth billions of years ago. The knowledge they gain will inform our understanding of the solar system for generations to come, and anyone can go look at this piece of asteroid for free. It's truly remarkable that we're able to do it. A bit closer to home, while we're all sad to say goodbye to the National Zoo's giant pandas, Americans should take solace knowing that the Smithsonian experts' observations and research over the last several decades has played a significant role in moving giant pandas off the endangered species list. Despite the Smithsonian's many successes, it is not without challenges, and these challenges must be addressed so the Smithsonian can continue its great mission for the next 175 years and beyond. Earlier this year, I requested an update from you, Mr. Secretary, on the Smithsonian's response to allegations of sexual misconduct from more than a dozen female scientists at the Smithsonian's Tropical Research Institute in Panama. The allegations are deeply unsettling, and the conduct described is completely unacceptable. I am very grateful for the Secretary's thoughtful response and the creation of the Smithsonian Civil Program, a centralized resource for employees to report harassment and other inappropriate behavior, and look forward to continued updates this morning. In addition, while I am thrilled Congress authorized the National Museum of the American Latino and American Women's History Museum on the overwhelmingly bipartisan basis, I remain frustrated that the original House-passed legislation was amended to make the law conflict with itself. After the House passed legislation declaring it Congress's intent that the museums be on the National Mall and even requiring certain locations on the mall be considered, the Senate added language prohibiting the museums from being built on the National Mall. Obviously, that makes no sense, especially since the language expressing Congress' intent and requiring a site on the mall be considered stayed in the bill. So I'm hopeful we can work together to fix the law to ensure these important new museums take their rightful place on America's front yard. In the meantime, I'm interested in learning about the progress made in developing exhibitions and programs for these museums. I'm especially interested in how the Smithsonian ensures it maintains curatorial independence at a time when many look to exploit cultural issues to score political points. I'm also eager for an update on the Smithsonian's efforts to right a revolting historic wrong, the 19th and early 20th century practice of removing brains from deceased Black and Indigenous people for study without the consent of them or their families. There aren't words in the English language sufficient to capture just how repugnant and dehumanizing a practice this was. Earlier this year, I sent Secretary Bunch a letter asking for details on the Smithsonian's plans to repatriate and return the human remains to victims' families, and I again appreciate Secretary Bunch's response detailing the work of the Smithsonian's new Human Remains Task Force, as well as, sir, your public apology on behalf of the institution. I'm looking forward to hearing more this morning again about the work of the task force and about any headway that has been made in that repatriation effort. Finally, I am interested in learning more about efforts to strengthen the Smithsonian's infrastructure and facilities. Hope to hear updates on renovations to the Air and Space Museum, my all-time favorite place in the world, status of the deferred maintenance backlog, and actions taken to protect collections against the effects of climate change. So again, Mr. Secretary, thank you for not only for being here today, but for your continued public service to the country. And with that, Mr. Chairman, I yield back.